Republican presidential candidate and con man Vivek Ramaswamy went onto the Mehdi Hasan show on MSNBC and was completely embarrassed. Hasan called him out for lying about his income, lying about a $50,000 George Soros scholarship, and lying about his criticism of Donald Trump's actions on January 6th.
You say you are anti-identity politics, anti-affirmative action in a party that hates the Soros name, yet you accepted a Paul and Daisy Soros scholarship at law school that was specifically set up for the children of immigrants. It was an affirmative action scholarship, and your defense for that is that you didn't have the money to pay for law school, even though you'd already made over $1 million at the time and made another $2 million.
My defense of that is if somebody gives you a merit scholarship at the age of 24, you take it. At the age of 24, somebody gives you a merit scholarship, you take it. I didn't say I didn't have the money. I said at a time when I had a lot less money than now. $50,000
you said
was
exactly,
still
I didn't have the money, Vivek. You keep forgetting your quote. You said, when I didn't have the money.
So, Mehdi, I've made this really easy for everybody. And I did this in the early weeks of the campaign. I released 20 years of tax returns.
Yes, you
Something
did.
that no presidential candidate, let alone somebody who's successful in business, has done. I challenge Democrats and Republicans alike, including the Biden family, to do it. And you know what? I released it so that you could look at them, so we can have an honest conversation.
Much. And I appreciate that.
The funny thing I've learned,
I do appreciate that. It's something Trump should learn from you.
Transparency is important.
Look,
it's already open and everybody can see it.
Exactly. We have 2009
But the fact of the matter is, you know what I would advise every 24-year-old should take
2009 and 2010, you made $750,000. You had the money to pay for law school. You didn't need a Soros affirmative action scholarship that you now criticize.
I mean, none of this is worthy, but if you think it is, let's get to the detail. That was actually the first big piece of money.
You say you're anti-affirmative action. You took a scholarship for immigrants.
I'm anti-affirmative action.
So why did you take a scholarship for the children of immigrants?
Which falsehood would you like me to address? The financial one or the one about my views on affirmative action? Because I can go in whichever order you'd like.
On
the financial piece of it. Not at the time that I had applied for the scholarship that fall.
Yes, you did.
That December.
Yes, you did, Vivek. This is awkward for you because you did. I've got the tax returns in front of my face.
No, it's not awkward for you. Yes, on December 31st, when the application for the scholarship was that October. Mehdi, you're wasting your time on childish details in October of that year when I applied for that scholarship. And it was, well, guess what? The bonuses that a hedge fund pays, and it's a shame that, again, you don't have to be an expert on this, but if you're going to spout out, you better know something about it. People pay at a hedge fund the bonuses at the end of a year, and on December 31st, that's when I was paid. I applied for the scholarship that September, and I did not grow up in a wealthy family.
Vivek, you made more money the previous year.
I made $200,000 pre-tax or whatever it was.
No, you didn't.
And you know what?
Hold on. No, you didn't. You're now telling flat. In 2009,
you have my tax returns in front of you. I don't remember what I made in 2009.
In 2009, you made $650,000. In 2010, you made less, $450,000. So the argument that you only made the money pre the scholarship, Oh, so now we're bringing tax into it. We've been using gross numbers.
Absolutely.
Vivek, you're wrong on this. Go back and check your tax returns.
You made $750,000 makes a big difference.
And then you accepted a Soros scholarship for $50,000 when you didn't need it.
Well, you know what the fact is, Mehdi, is $50,000 did make a big difference to me back then. And anybody who has a few $100,000 in the bank is going to take $50,000 without strings attached. Take the scholarship. But my question for you is, why on earth are you, as an intelligent person interested in politics, obsessing over a 24-year-old's $50,000 scholarship?
I'm interested in truth,
beneath you.
We have a country to fix. That you wear. And I'm interested in truth.
And Mehdi, that's why I released 20 years. Mehdi, that is why I released 20 years of tax records. Tell your friends in the Biden administration to do the same thing.
Swamy, they're violating what Republicans would say are three important pillars to them, but really we know that they're not honest, serious people. That would be George Soros is behind everything. He's running the Democratic Party. We hate him. We hate affirmative action and most immigrants. And we're the party of financial responsibility and honesty. Ramaswamy took a $50,000 scholarship from George Soros because of his immigrant past, and he did it by lying about how much money he had, and then was caught on the Hasan show lying about how much money he had. He says, I made $200,000 in 2009. And Hasan says, look, man, I have the receipts right here. You made more in 2009 than you did in 2010. And then he says, oh, I don't remember. He says, I didn't have the money. I needed that scholarship. And then turns around and says, oh, well, you know, even people with a couple $100,000 in the bank, they're still going to take a $50,000 scholarship, right? Ramaswamy, a complete embarrassment, a fast-talking con man who is polling at single digits. I have no idea why this guy is doing what he's doing. It's baffling. The interview continued, and Ramaswamy absolutely was trying to dance and tiptoe through past criticisms of Donald Trump on January 6th.
You say he behaved in downright abhorrent behavior that makes him a danger to democracy. What was it that was downright? Tell me what he did that was downright abhorrent.
Let's actually be really fair to your audience. So on January 10th, 2021, thereabouts, days after that incident, I wrote an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal arguing that censorship was the real cause of what happened on January 6th. When asked in response, somebody asked me the question, are you... That's what I wrote. I'm giving you the facts of what I said. That's a hard fact. That was published in the Wall Street Journal. When pressed on, was that condoning what Trump did? My answer was no. There's a difference between a bad judgment and a crime.
And
we
you're
need to
my
be
question.
able to tell the difference in this country.
What did Donald Trump do,
no, I'm not avoiding
in your
question.
view, that was downright abhorrent? Second time
I think that the thing that I would have done differently if I were in his shoes
not what I asked,
is
Vivek,
I would have
respect.
declared re-election on January 7th.
I'll ask it a third time.
That's exactly the thing I would have done.
What did Trump do that was egregious, quote, downright abhorrent, and a danger to democracy? Can you just explain to our viewers? Your words.
So you're mixing two different quotes. But what did I think was reprehensible about what happened that day? Look, I think that the way a true leader should have handled that situation should have been to actually say, this is me running for re-election, not actually litigating what is already passed and behind us. And I would have done things differently. That is not a crime, though, what he did.
I understand.
And the reason I have been so vehement.
You keep saying what you would have done. I just want to hear from your mouth. No,
I would not,
unless you're scared of him, why won't you say what he did that was downright abhorrent?
I'm not going to let you you're stitching together three things from three different places to create a caricature. Do you want to have an actual conversation?
Yes, I want you to answer my question, Vivek. Three times I've asked it. What did Trump do that was downright abhorrent? It's a simple question. It's your words. It's on screen. What did he do that was downright abhorrent?
I believe that failing to unite this country falls short of what a true leader ought to do. That is why I'm in this race, is to do things differently than any prior president has done them. That's the hard truth, okay?
And that's what made him a sore loser and abhorrent.
The media
yes, your words.
And well, the reality is none of that is a crime.
Really?
And the reason I have been so vocal, the reason I have been so vocal is because when somebody actually prosecutes somebody for a bad judgment, and I've been clear.
I understand your objections to the litigation.
I would have made different judgments.
That's not what I asked about. I understand.
That is a distinction we have to draw.
Understood.
The funny thing about that clip is in Ramaswamy's tweet in which he called Donald Trump's actions abhorrent, he says, plain and simple. And those 2.5 minutes were the complete opposite of plain and simple criticism of Donald Trump. I mean, Vivek had his tap shoes on and he was getting to work. He also said that censorship was the real cause of January 6th. Like, in what world is this guy living in? I mean, that's trying to appeal to all like the Republican tech bros who are making, hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars, and they do not want to pay their taxes, right? And those are all the guys who think that, Twitter was being censored before the 2020 election, and it's all because of Donald Trump and Elon Musk. He bought Twitter and now he's rescuing it. Which Twitter is completely falling apart under Elon Musk. The idea that Twitter was being censored has been disproven time and time again. And Vivek is floundering here. I mean, so much so that his only criticism was that Donald Trump couldn't unite the country like he could, or like he can, or like he plans to, which is utterly insane because every time this guy opens his mouth, people who actually know what we're talking about call him out on it immediately. Like, this guy is a flamethrower. He doesn't care. And he really is just, I said this earlier that I have no idea why this guy's running, but he's trying to make money off of it. So Vivek Ramaswamy, completely embarrassed by Mehdi Hasan, and rightfully so, because this guy is a joke and he's making a mockery of the presidential campaign and the office of President of the United States.